Guys, what's up? It's me, Toms. Today we're back here with Food Theory. Today's Food Theory is called "Are Creator Products Doomed to Fail?" Well, considering a lot of them are limited time, not surprised. I mean, sure, we do get a lot of example, or at least stuff that hasn't gone bad. Like Prime, surprisingly, and gamer subs. But you get the idea. Creator products don't last that long. I don't know if they do that intentionally or not, but I mean, when I saw this, I was like, okay, I gotta watch this. So, let's see what Santi thinks. Be sure to like, subscribe for more. Hope you enjoy. Here we go.
Are creator food products doomed to fail? Why do creator food products have such a hard time taking down the big brands that have ruled for so long? It all comes down to one simple thing: cake.
Think that cake.
Hello, Internet. Welcome to Food Theory, the show that's officially entering its business mogul era. Okay, probably not. But man, it feels like every other creator on the platform is. Every day I check social media and I see another creator is coming out with some brand new product. Long gone are the days of creators just selling t-shirts with their logos on them. Some of your favorite and least favorite YouTubers are dipping their toes into style and beauty, game development, and even TV and movies. But we don't care about all that right now. No, right now we're looking specifically at the food products creators get
I mean, this is Food Theory.
And there are plenty of food and drink options available out there, many of which are
I would be surprised if Tom actually did go for the he covered creator games, games made by YouTube creators. I'd be surprised. And honestly, you'd be impressed to not see stuff made by the local YouTubers or something. I don't know if I'm ever going to fall down that rabbit hole yet, but I'd be surprised if I did. Anyway.
From creators who you don't typically associate with
Jack,
the food space. I mean, sure, hot ones making hot sauce and cold ones brewing cold ones, that's a no-brainer. But what does FaZe Rug know about making freeze-dried candy? You'd think that if you have a big enough audience and create a decent enough product, it's just gonna work out, right? But for every Joyride, which has slowly climbed its way to the top of Target's best-selling candies list, there's Prime. Yeah, and I want to be clear here. This is not a diss. I'm gonna keep it 100. When Prime first released, it was a major success. I bet it caused some serious shaking in the boots among the big boys over at Coke and Pepsi. But over the past few years, Prime's numbers have started to decline. According to recent news, in 2024, Prime's total revenue in the UK fell by over 70%, from £112.2 million in 2023 to just £32.8 million in 2020. Meanwhile, their net profit fell from £3.72 million to just £300,000. That's an over 90% drop in profit in just 1 year. Clearly, even the biggest creators aren't immune to this. Just take a look at the biggest creator of them all, Mr. Beast. You may be shocked to hear that actually his chocolate company, Feastables, makes more profit than all of his other ventures combined. Yeah, even the YouTube channel. But for all the talk about the success of Feastables, we almost never hear anything about Beast Burger or Lunchly anymore. And if the biggest YouTuber on the planet can't even bat 1,000 when it comes to creator-made products, then what hope do I have for starting Santi sandwiches? To paraphrase the immortal words of Jay-Z, I don't want to be a businessman. I want to be a businessman. And so, after analyzing the successes and failures of my fellow creators and spending hours upon hours looking into the ups and downs of influencer food products, I think I've narrowed down the 4 key factors that stand in the way of creators. And in the process, I've cooked up something sweet of my own. I call it cake. And no, I'm not making another cake. I'm too traumatized by that. It's the 4 obstacles that stand in the way of creators taking the step out of the YouTube sphere and onto the grocery store shelf. So let's kick off this creator confectionery cake with obstacle numero uno. I know. Duh, Santi. If you want to create a successful product, you have to make something that people will actually buy. What a revolutionary idea. First off,
well, I mean, fair, but come on. You see these products, you're eh. It's not really a catch to be I want to try that. I don't know. I mean, I think Dan, remember when Lunchly was first announced, Dan was like, what happened to YouTubers, man? Now we're just selling this shit for the money. Or something. Not really something for us, the fans. But you get the idea, right? I mean, heck, I remember KSI made that awful thick of it because of that tweet. Yeah, you can see what's going on here. The good products are usually something that's trying to fix something, people want to buy. The others are just run-of-the-mill stuff you could just get a cheaper alternative for. Maybe, but with Joyride, you can actually see why it's doing well. Because there are candies that are a lot, lot less healthier than Joyride. And, I mean, like I said, I had Joyride before. It actually is pretty good, so there is that. Also, sometimes it does do, sorry, I'll let Santi move on.
Second, while yeah, you want to create something that's actually good, you also have to create something that people need to buy on a regular basis. For example, take the one thing that fans buy more than anything else from their favorite creators: merch. Merch is great, but most people are only going to buy merch a few times a year. And the same is true for the second most bought item from creators: beauty products. But food and drinks, everyone needs to eat, so if you nail the right product, you can quickly start pumping out repeat customers. But not all food products are well suited for people to buy over and over again. Take the Hot Ones 10-pack. It's a really cool, albeit expensive product that allows you to see if you can handle the Hot Ones gauntlet, just like your favorite celebrity. Problem is, this is the sort of thing you buy once and probably never again. And sure, you may go out and buy your favorite individual sauces, but unless you're like me and going through bottles of hot sauce like nobody else's business, it's not going to be a regular seller. So the secret is selling products that everybody needs every day, which would explain why so many creators have been brewing up their own coffee brands. And if you try to tell me that I don't need coffee every morning, I'm going to climb through this screen and I'm gonna scream in your face. It's important, all right? But just as important as what you sell is where you sell it. Most creators opt to sell their product DTC, or direct to consumer, i.e. via their own website or on a site like Amazon. That's much easier and simpler. You don't have to convince a mega corporation like Walmart or Target to give you some of their precious shelf space. But the downside to selling your product exclusively online is that there's a bit of friction between your customer and the sale. Most people aren't going to Amazon to pre-purchase all their snacks for the week. If you're selling a naughty little sweet treat like candy or cookies, you want your customers to see your display when they're already shopping and be like, ooh, I'll treat myself, thank you very much. Of course, that's easier said than done. Just ask Ryan Trahan and Mr. Beast. On YouTube, they are kings, very much the big fish in a tiny, tiny pond. But when they approach the likes of Walmart and Target, who make hundreds of billions of dollars in revenue a year, they very quickly found themselves dropped into a much, much bigger pond. Both Feastables and Joyride had to start out in just a few stores with subprime shelf space. But once the dollars started rolling in, Brian and Jimmy were able to roll out their candy brands nationwide and be right there alongside their biggest candy competitors, something they wouldn't have been able to do exclusively selling their candy online. So obstacle number one of trying to launch a successful YouTuber food product is not only creating something that people will need to buy on a regular basis, but also making sure you place it front and center in their daily lives. On to number two, which, let's be honest, for some creators out there, is damn near impossible.
Boy, controversy.
Yeah, this
we
is the
know
one
that
that
one's
tends
coming
to get YouTubers, and especially
if you
their
look at
products,
Launchly,
into
you know
some
what
hot
I
water.
mean.
While creators themselves can ride out the waves of controversy that pop up during their career, their products really struggle to gain any meaningful traction if the product itself is marred by scandal. I mean, creator products by their very nature don't come with years of established brand loyalty, at least not the product themselves. That's why Chipotle can give us salmonella and Panera lemonade can literally kill people and it doesn't affect their bottom line. They're established names. But if you told me that every bag of Joyride had a 1 in 1,000 chance of having a severed finger in it, I'd think twice about ever eating it again. And that's the thing, even if the controversy is untrue or blown out of proportion, that can still end up taking the product down in a blaze of glory. Remember when Prime was sued for allegedly containing high amounts of the toxic forever chemicals, PFAs? When that broke, there really wasn't any solid evidence to go off of other than the lawsuit itself. In fact, as far as I can tell, that lawsuit is still going on to this day, yet the court of public opinion has seemed to have already rendered its verdict. The same could probably be said for Lunchley. While its supposedly moldy cheese did garner a lot of attention on social media, in all likelihood, these were probably isolated instances that weren't indicative of Lunchley's overall manufacturing process. But if you're someone who never tried Lunchley before and saw the pictures of people with their blue cheese that's not supposed to be blue, you'd probably steer clear, just in case. But of course, sometimes creator product controversies are very much a self-inflicted wound. Case in point, Pokemon's cookies. When Pokemon first released her healthier cookie brand Mina Snacks back in 2023, some fans were understandably taken aback by the price.
Wait a minute.
$28 for 4 bags of cookies is a bit excessive, but that really wouldn't have amounted to much of a controversy.
Considering the size of the cookies,
end up sticking her entire foot in her mouth.
If they were bigger, then whoops.
Like, oh my god, $28 for cookies? It's 4 bags.
4 tiny ones. Hello.
$7 a bag. I know math is hard. Like, if you're a broke boy, just say so.
Yikes. That was certainly tone deaf, to say the least. Of course, Pokey immediately apologized for what she said, but the damage was done. Although you can still buy Mina snacks to this day, you basically never see Pokey herself promoting them. And when it comes to a YouTuber product, the YouTuber is kind of important. And that right there is the problem. Celebrity endorsements to help the brand connect to a specific market is one thing. But when all the brand has is the celebrity, any missteps on their part, and suddenly any and all marketing comes grinding to a halt. All right, we're halfway through our cake. What's next?
Well, yeah, I mean, again, when you see a controversy, you know you're gonna be like, well, that didn't take long. What's our next step? I don't know. I think if I ever had a product that had something like that, I would have been like, okay, that's not on me. I'm not sure how I would go about it. Like, again, I don't have any products to sell, so I can't really, go there. So the avoid controversy might be a step for me if I get there. I mean, I try to make sure at least they're going for it, and not like a company that's like, oh, you accidentally let moldy cheese in? Oh boy. Again, if I ever do merch, I don't know if I'll ever do games or food stuff, because there is way too many hurdles for it. I don't know. I mean, heck, coffee's a good bet, because, come on, can't really mess that up. Not really, but you get the idea. Anyway, next, number K.
This is a big obstacle for creators, and a big disconnect when it comes to creating a food product. See, a creator's online audience might be extremely different from the audience they're trying to reach when it comes to a food product. The younger audiences that might consistently watch and follow creators on YouTube aren't the same ones with the reliable spending power that'll make your food or drink fly off the shelf. Not only that, but if they do happen to convince their parents they absolutely need to have their favorite creator's food in the pantry, or they want to try it out because all their friends are drinking or eating it, it's usually only for a while. See, young consumers are the least loyal to brands. Couple that with the fact that Gen Z and Gen Alpha go through trends like I go through double stuffed Oreos, and you have a consumer base that will stay with you for a couple of months to a year max, until the next thing comes along, or until they get bored. So when creators with fan bases and revenue large enough to expand to other ventures decide to take that leap, marketing to the people that have stuck by them actually shoots them in the foot. But even if they do market the brand correctly to an audience with spending power and loyalty, they've lost the one thing that gave them a shot at competing with the big names in the first place. Now they're just another product on the shelf, and they have to work twice as hard to make those sales.
Oh, effort.
If you really want your YouTuber food brand to go viral, you have to keep putting in the effort long after the hype dies down. When it comes to media, and especially social media, trends come and trends go fast. Even if your creator product sees massive success right out the gate thanks to your huge social media following, once that initial hype dies down, your audience and your customer is gonna ask, what's next? When you release your own YouTuber product, all the marketing goes through one person. You are the marketing division, the product developer, the CEO. Everything is on you to keep that engine chugging. There's never really going to be a point where everything just becomes self-sustaining. You gotta keep pushing products, keep innovating, sell. I know I keep bringing them up in this episode, but yes, Ryan and Jimmy once again seem to understand this more than others. As much as it may seem annoying to see Mr. Beast push his Feastable bars in every single video he does, the fact of the matter is he has to. If he wants to keep growing his business, he has to keep Feastables to keep his channel going too, especially if it's the one keeping his lights on. Not only that, he's changing the formula, the packaging, adding new flavors, and most recently he started to really focus on how he ethically sources his cocoa, an industry that's rife with human rights abuses and probably worthy of a food theory of its own way. Similarly, Ryan Trahan knows how to keep us going for a joyride. The Climb, the story of Joyride's rise of Target's candy leaderboard, is a perfect way to keep the audience engaged. Is Joyride gonna be #1 this month? Find out next time on Dragon Ball Z. And not only is he churning out new flavors seemingly every month, but recently he broke a Guinness World Record for the most photos of people holding candy uploaded to Instagram in 1 hour. Kind of specific if you ask me, but regardless, I helped. And it's not just YouTubers who have to follow this rule. Think about it. Every single person on this planet knows what a Coca-Cola is, and yet Coke still does advertising. They make new products and they sign on celebrity endorsements. The big difference is Coca-Cola is more than just a single person. They're a symbol, like Batman. They can do it all, like Batman. Whether it's that super long ad before every movie at AMC, or funny ad battles with Pepsi, or linking up with whoever is hot right now for a limited time flavor, they can sell to consumers in a million different ways with a million different faces. YouTuber products rely on the YouTuber. YouTuber. And honestly, most of them don't have the time to do anything other than promote on their own channels or social media, which limits your audience, your reach. And if they suddenly stop promoting it to keep it at the top of their viewers' minds, well, that's it. Their viewers don't see it everywhere else they go. They don't see it on billboards or ads in the middle of their favorite YouTube video. And in this day and age, if you're not constantly bombarding your audience, that's a wrap. I mean, think about all the things that had to go right for you to make it all the way to this video. Thank you, by the way. You could have been listening to the Talk Tua podcast or drinking a high C orange on your back porch, but you're here. And if I just suddenly stopped making YouTube videos, well, you'd probably forget about me. Sentimentality aside, it's true. With so many choices and options out there, it's a constant battle just to keep viewers coming back, let alone thinking about creators when they're at the grocery store. And that battle, that's why even products from the biggest creators usually end up fizzling out. Because those big brands creators have to step in the ring with, they're in it for the long game. Coke has been around for almost 140 years. Pepsi for 130. Kraft has been around for over a century too. They don't care about hype drops. They don't care about trends. Not really. They've seen a million come and go. There's articles every couple of years looking at Coke hitting lows and questioning, is this the end? In 2017, they had a historically low year. And in 2023, they made more money than they had in the previous 13 years. One bad year doesn't matter. They're looking at the next 10, 20 even. Creators, we don't have that kind of time. One, because none of us have cracked immortality yet, working on it. But two, because at the end of the day, longevity is one of the hardest things to obtain in this world of content creation. It's an exhausting grind that few people can keep up for more than 10 years, forget 100. At the end of the day, it's not that these products are failing. That's not even the right word. Hell, the fact that some of these creators get to bang with the foodie best for a year or two is a feat to be celebrated, but the game is rigged from the get-go. Who knows? Maybe understanding these obstacles, this cake we gotta take a big old bite out of if we want to succeed in the food space, someone will be able to create something that truly lasts. We might be seeing it now, or maybe a new product will come along by a super talented Argentinian food creator, one that grows bigger than the creator himself and becomes a symbol, like Batman. You could even say it'd be a piece of cake. But hey, that's just a theory. A food theory. Buen provecho. And hey, if you want to see me talk about one...
Well, that does make sense, but I guess it's to each your own. I don't know. I guess with YouTubers, like, they do, like, a lot of media are just like, oh, they're just kids, or playing or doing stuff behind a camera. I mean, sure, but you can say that about actors, and they're paid millions. I mean, I'm just saying, you just gotta find your time, I guess. I don't know. But anyway, what do you guys think? Any thoughts on the creative projects? Honestly, I'm not sure if I'll ever have to use that, but definitely gonna have to take a note of that for, like, any future ones if I plan to. You know what I mean? Anyway, till next time. See ya.